listening, the two in attendance, and the millions and millions of people across the nation that have never seen this podcast, are you gonna eat an egg?
I think we just lost like 8 of our viewers.
We had 8. I'm impressed.
With that little, whatever that was.
We can always restart. We're only 22 seconds in.
No.
Okay, let's roll
then.
then.
We're doing this.
Well, you did burp.
Welcome to another episode of Cranial Diarrhea, coming to you from Area 57. I am Tiff.
And I am Max Steele.
Okay.
Just call me Max. Mom! Whoa, we're in the dark.
I don't know what I was...
I'm not sure what that was. Hey, we're making a video. Let's turn all the lights off. Okay.
I wanted to see how the mic is picked up in the dark on the camera. Anyway.
This close, too. Look, it changes colors, too. That's cool. Okay. Enough about that. What are we doing this week besides wasting our time? It doesn't matter what we're doing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought we might talk about some goat fellas. Some goat men.
That's really cool. Watching the light change. So we're going to talk about goat men. So is this like really a true thing? I mean, does this mean at some point in time there had to be a crossover in the species of goat and men to a goat man?
I don't know if it's true or not.
Are they half goat, half man?
Yeah, like the top half is half man goat and the bottom half is half man goat.
Wasn't that like... Wait a minute, let me think. Where have I seen something like that? Isn't that like... I'm a Capricorn. Isn't that like the thing? Like, haven't I seen like a goat man or something?
The thing?
You know, that represents Capricorn?
Sure.
I have no clue. I don't know. I don't even know what being a Capricorn means other than I knew I was born in December. So tell me about the goat man.
Banging into my chair.
Does he like to eat a burger?
I have information on 2 separate goat men.
Okay. There's more than one.
Wait
a minute. That really wasn't a Bigfoot, the last show you talked about. That was a goat.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they fell madly in love, remember?
Yeah, the story of Una and John.
Yeah, Unibrow was in the house.
Yeah, so let's get started. So the first one...
Oh, we're not doing interviews this week?
No, I didn't have any, I couldn't find any crazy stories that were just like, so...
Okay,
so... I don't think you're going to come across a lot of those for some other cryptids that are lesser known.
No, and we talked about a couple of cryptids this week, and it was kind of like, yeah, they're like Bigfoot. Been there, done that. Yeah,
it was like, I think we came across the one that was like Bigfoot's slightly evolved Central Asian cousin.
All right, so we're gonna hear about Goatman from Choking on a Luger. Go ahead, Choking.
A Luger.
Not Lex Luger, the wrestler, like a
Loogie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that like half booger, half spit or something?
No idea.
Why did it get its name? I wonder.
I have no idea.
I always wondered that.
Okay.
Let's hear about the Goatman. I can't wait. I couldn't resist.
I legit thought that was a person.
Oh, it does kind of look like one. That's pretty cool. I never thought
He's
about that.
got a hat on his wig resting on a, what is it, a vacuum?
Yeah, carpet cleaner.
Anyway. So...
I call it cleany.
The information for the first Goatman that I have, the Goatman in Maryland,
Oh, wait a minute.
This is actually, I found this information. It's on sites.psu.edu.
What kind of shoes does a goat man wear?
I would assume they have hooves.
I guess when the goat man's running, you can say he's really hooving it, right?
I thought it was huffing it.
Don't ruin my joke.
Okay. So this particular urban legend comes from the depth of Maryland. Maryland.
Maryland.
I don't know why I said it like that.
It's like
Maryland.
fairyland, but with an M.
He is half man, half goat, and he does exactly what you would expect him to do.
What? Wait a minute. Time out. What would you expect a half?
No, let me ask you. What would you do to it? What would you expect a half man, half goat to do?
I would expect a half man, half goat. It depends on which half is which.
Does it matter?
Yeah, because like, I mean,
But
think
in
of
terms of behavior, what would you expect?
I guess a guy that runs around eating paper and
Okay.
everything else.
Well, according to this article, everyone else in the world expects him to
You know
kill
how-
teenagers, eat dogs, scream like a shrill goat, and other things of the sort. And
I've
he
never
also apparently wields an axe.
seen a goat eat a teenager.
Well, your dad owns a lot of goats, right?
He did.
He did.
Mm,
You
and-
ever experienced the goat eating a teenager?
No. I had to
How
wrestle
about
one to the ground one time.
Eating a dog.
No.
How about
Sitting on a
wielding
log?
an axe?
Nope.
Okay.
No, none of those have ever come to mind. I mean, most of them just kind of, I guess they stayed in their lane. They ate the grass, ate the hay.
So let's talk about.
I got a question, though.
Okay.
How does a goat man identify his father? Do you know? He says, "That's my daddy."
So where does he come
Have
from?
you ever seen a goat eat a dog?
No.
Have you ever heard of a goat eating a dog?
My only experience with a goat in real life was at your parents' house, and the eyeballs freaked me out.
Isn't that like one of those things that people that do those bath soaps or something, like they freak out? Maybe it's a goat on bath soap.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So where does he come from?
Well, I would say either.
I wasn't asking.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I was going to guess. Evidently, Maryland.
One tale is that he was once a scientist who worked in Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. He was working on experiments using goats. And
This
one
has
day,
the Hulk written all over it.
One day, the experiment backfired and he was mutated into a half-goat creature. This tale became so big that the USDA had to come forward and publicly deny creating this creature accidentally.
Oh, my. Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's like the Hulk, but instead of turning into this like superhero bulky, he turns into a goat man.
Yeah.
I am Goatman.
Goatman.
I am Goatman. Bah.
I'm never going to figure this thing out.
I'll be back.
Another tale is that he was a goat farmer who went crazy and killed tons of teenagers after he figured out that they killed his goats.
But how would he become half goat?
I'm not really sure.
I mean, I could see like a lure they call him the goat man because he owned the goats, but this says it's half goat, half man.
Yeah. Or half man, half goat.
Or half plane, half boat. Maybe it'll float.
Okay. The more likely tale is that the Goatman legend was popularized in 1971 when a family came forward and blamed the brutal decapitation of their new puppy on the Goatman. The dog's head was found 14 years later.
Talking about an Easter egg hunt. That's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's more of a... Was there any cults or anything around where those people's dog were?
I don't know.
I just wondered.
Well, let's get in. Like, what does the Goatman do?
That's what I want to know. What does he
Let's
do
talk
for a
about it.
living?
Well, I don't know about for a living, but he jumps on cars, and he chops tires, so people can't get away. And he takes people into the forest with him.
Now, you do realize if he chops your tires, you can still hit the gas and ride on the rims, right?
Well, first of all, why wouldn't you be putting the car in drive and driving away as he's walking around your car trying to...
Hey, look, there's a goat man on top of my car. Let's hit the gas and get him off.
What? So the first reported sighting of the Goatman was in 1957. Eyewitnesses reported seeing it in Forestville and Upper Marlboro in Prince George's County. It wasn't until the 1960s that the first violent encounter would take place.
Was this at Woodstock by any chance?
No. The story goes that a young couple went to Fletchertown Road and were suddenly startled by something in the woods. The young man got out of the car to investigate, naturally, but he never came back. When an investigation occurred the next day, his severed head was found hanging in a tree above where the car had been parked. His body was never found. Now, I have a question about this particular story. Because if you're half man, half goat, you would assume that you're on hooves, right? How the fuck are you climbing a tree to put a decapitated head in it?
And again, I have to ask.
Maybe it was an accomplice.
Maybe it was a half man,
Maybe
half
he got
gorilla.
Bigfoot to come and join in the fun.
Yeah, it was a half man, half gorilla that joined in.
Another violent encounter.
It sounds like there might be a serial killer in this area.
Dressed as a goat.
Dressed as a goat. This is my disguise. I'm a goat. It's real original.
They come looking around like where he stays and stuff, and he's like in the pasture.
Oh, that's not a person. That's a goat. Keep moving.
Anyway. Another violent encounter supposedly took place in 1962. The Goatman was accused of killing 14 people, 12 of whom were children, with the other 2 being adult chaperones. So the group was evidently hiking too close to the Goatman's home. Unidentified survivors claimed that the Goatman hacked the victims to... I said that word, victims. Victims to pieces with an axe, making noises only the devil himself would make. When police arrived, they found half-eaten limbs and a bloody trail leading to a cave. As might be expected, there is no record of this event actually occurring.
Now, wouldn't, as police, if you tracked it back to a cave, wouldn't you like call out SWAT and everything else and surround the cave until somebody come out and go in and explore, and like it would be the end of the Goatman?
Well, this was in 1962. Do you think SWAT was a thing then?
Surely.
How long has SWAT been a thing?
I don't know, but I mean, it wasn't Abbott and Costello running around who's on first. I'm sure they had training back then. But here's my other question. If there's 14 of them, okay, if there's 14 people, and you don't ever want this to happen, but somebody starts hacking, wouldn't the other 13 start running?
Yeah, they were all just like standing in line.
Oh, okay, I'm just going to wait.
Me next.
Number 12? Number 12? Oh, not me.
I mean, they walk by and he's like, take a ticket.
Yeah, everybody just run in different directions. Or everybody charging. He can't get all 13 at once.
That's the thing. Like, the stories are so... not even far-fetched. They're just don't... they're not making a lot of sense, I guess.
Right.
The most famous incident involving the keep saying it like that.
Maryland
Goatman occurred in 1971.
1971.
It was at this point, how old were you, 30? In
1971, yes, I was like right at 4 or 5 or 10 or 30. I was 30.
Oh.
I think Una's going to come back.
Today's the day before Easter. Were you there when they rolled the stone away?
I was the one
was
that
that
actually
like
pushed
for
on
you?
the stone. It was very exciting. It was a big build up, we all like went to the local pub, had a few drinks, and headed out, It was like, yeah, it was cool.
Okay.
And then when we started moving the stone, you should have heard everybody. They were so excited. And then, of course, Chuck farted. And we
of
lost half our
course.
people.
Silly Chuck.
I mean, just hold your gas. Come on.
Same old, same
For a
old.
moment like this, and he said he was trying to give a drum roll. But yes, I was there. I was there when the water was parted.
Okay. All right, 1971. So it was
The crap I put up with. From Una.
It was at this point that the article "Residents Fear Goatman Lives" found decapitated in Old Bowie.
An old Bowie or Bowie?
Bowie.
Like David Bowie?
Yeah, Bowie.
It's not a Bowie, it's a Bowie. It's a David Bowie. I knew that movie he made, that Labyrinth or whatever it was a weird movie.
This is the best movie.
It had the Goatman. That's what it was, the Goatman.
Hosler.
It's a Karen.
Appeared in Prince George's County News. In this article, Hosler describes how a family by the name of Edwards had lost their dog Ginger. Ginger was found by Ray Hayden and Willie Gein a few days after going missing. She was found headless near Fletchertown Road. The article connected the death of Ginger to the Goatman because a group of teenage girls, which included 16-year-old April Edwards, had heard strange noises and saw a large creature the night the dog had disappeared.
Hey, y'all, look over there. That looks like a large creature. That looks like half a goat and half a man.
Reports do claim that the creature is about 6 foot tall, hairy, and walking on 2 feet, making a high-pitched sound like...
Hey, y'all, look over there. It's Henry. He's real hairy.
One report claims that it looked like a Sasquatch with horns, and one said that he saw a bear, except that it doesn't look like a bear.
That's it. I know. It's a Los Angeles Ram.
So the Maryland Goatman, I said it again, Maryland Goatman is known for terrorizing lovers chasing down teens with his axe.
Okay, folks. This is just a guy that lives in the woods. Come on, let's.
He's like, get off my property.
Yeah, he's like, get off my land.
So let's talk about the Goatman in Texas.
Oh, there's one. Now, wait a minute.
This one is a little different. This one's not exactly what I would call a cryptid.
Let me say
it's
this.
More of a spirit, I think.
I was going to say, because let me say this. If there was a Goatman in Texas, with everybody that's hunting, that hunts in Texas,
yeah,
this thing would have been captured by now.
For sure.
Okay.
But this, it's more of a spirit. So, the Goatman of Texas haunts Old Alton Bridge, which is nicknamed Goatman's Bridge for obvious reasons. The Goatman is said to roam the forest surrounding the bridge.
Does he frolic in the forest?
I don't think so.
He doesn't frolic in the forest?
This one comes from a tale of a black goat farmer who lived with his family on one side of the bridge. A few years after he moved there, he became known as a dependable and honest businessman. So North Texans started calling him the Goatman. The farmer put a sign on the bridge that read, "This way to Goatman's," and local Klansmen didn't like it and turned to violence. They kidnapped the farmer and hung him on the bridge. When they looked down to check to see if he had died, he was gone. So the Klansmen panicked, went back to the farmer's house, and they murdered his wife and children. So
Unbelievable.
yeah. So locals now warn people about this tale. They warn that if you cross the bridge with no headlights, the Goatman will appear on the other side. People have reported seeing strange lights, ghostly figures, as well as reports of being touched, grabbed, having rocks thrown at them. And locals warn visitors not to mess with the Goatman.
Now, this kind of relates back to where we've talked about like entities like this and how it's kind of related to traumatic type events. I mean, if you believe in that kind of...
I don't know what I'm picking up on the mic, so I'm trying not to squeak the straw.
I don't have my headphones in, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh.
Your squeaking made me forget what I was saying. Oh, no, don't remember.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, really. Roll it quick.
I think what you were alluding to is in a lot of the things that we've talked about.
Oh, yeah, being traumatic because of I think it was you that brought up the concept of a restless spirit or a spirit needing to complete something to be, I don't guess released is the right word. I don't remember what word you used. But
I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
That may be something that Shannon said.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I just remember somebody was saying something about that.
Than something that would come out of my mouth.
Or mine. But, I'm not a big believer in all this stuff. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. But, you do have to wonder sometimes, like if someone has unfinished business on earth, does their spirit remain?
I don't even know if it's unfinished business. I think there are a lot of variables, right? So, like, some people say running water. Some people say, have you ever heard the crossroad theory?
I have not.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure what the exact theory is, but the crossroads, it's supposed to be like a big draw for spiritual activity.
So what is meant by like crossroads? You mean like an actual crossroad?
Yes. Yeah.
So like anywhere there's a crossroad?
I don't know. I think maybe that's something that we should...
maybe we need to investigate that.
Yeah, do some research on that.
That's kind of interesting.
And then you have like the theories about running water.
What's that?
That the moving water creates energy, I guess, that spirits can use. They're drawn to it. Same thing.
So they're drawn to my shower?
Not that.
You perverted spirit.
Not like a shower, but like a stream or.
Oh well, you said running water. I'm thinking like coming out of a faucet.
Like the faucet.
Look, there's a perverted ghost again.
Every time I turn the faucet
every time I turn the shower on.
And then you have like the electromagnetic field, obviously. So like.
I've heard about the electromagnetic fields that they manifest. Use of energy, but I didn't know about water.
I think in the paranormal community, those are all things that come up quite often.
Brings me to an interesting question. Would you consider this show part of the paranormal? I can't even say it. Paranormal community.
I think we're on the outskirts because we don't actually do any investigating.
Nor do we want to
talk about it.
Nor do we want to.
Well, I mean, we do. We are interested in a investigation that we've been talking about for like a year and a half.
Right. That we need to go on, but
I don't
know. It's just
GoPro, by the way.
It's really weird because every time we start talking about an investigation and you bring up this thing about bringing some spirit home with you, and I'm like, yeah.
That's the thing.
Do you think that really happens?
Yeah.
Really?
I think if you open yourself up in just the right way, you open yourself up for an attachment.
So let me ask you this. If we went on this thing and I go in there with my normal nonsensical sense of humor, I was going to say something else.
You're going to piss something off.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, and the other thing too is like you would know. It wouldn't be like, I mean, the dogs would sense it, and
I wonder if ghosts have comedy clubs. Do they get humor?
There is they say there is like a haunted comedy club. I don't remember exactly which one it was.
Huh. Because I do have kind of a...
But if we do bring something home, like...
Will it cook dinner? That's my first...
No.
Well, no, it's got to go then.
But we do have ways of...
Will it order Grubhub at least?
I don't know. I think Shannon mentioned that they do like a prayer or something beforehand.
I think so. Something like that. And after or something.
Then, like I'm coming equipped with like protecting crystals and like...
Do you think that stuff really works?
Crystals?
Yeah, I mean, I know they work when I eat crystals. It works on my system really well.
Crystals.
I mean, I can tell you,
will say that
if I eat a dozen crystals,
there have been a few situations that I've gone into that were high stress situations, and I did have I had some crystals that almost said provoke. Some crystals that promote calm and healing and that sort of thing. And I will tell you that the experience for me, I don't know if it was like a placebo effect or what was going on, but it worked for me. Like I said, I don't know if it's all like it was all up here.
see, I can tell you, if I eat 12 crystals and go on a ghost hunt, there ain't nothing coming home with me. I can tell you that.
If you eat 12 crystals, I'm leaving you there.
I'll fumigate the whole house. But I mean, I know, and I'm not knocking anyone's belief or saying anything negative, but it's just for me. That's just not. I guess I'm just not in tune with that whole dimension or something. I don't know. I just don't.
Well, your mind just isn't open to it. That's all there is to it.
Not really. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's to me that's something that
I'm fairly open to it. Like I'm interested in it, and I would love to go talk to a medium and talk to someone from the other side.
I want to talk to an extra large. They know more.
But and I've had a few experiences, and I think that that's part of the reason that I am.
Are you Popeye the Sailor Man? I am what I am.
More on the believing
sensitive
side
side.
than I am on the cynic.
I think it's more of a, and when I say sensitive, I don't mean like in a bad way. I mean you're more.
You call me sensitive?
More in tune, or more. I guess that particular aspect of your brain is more acceptable.
I don't know. I think my brain is just broken.
I tried to take it back to the Walmart.
There's nothing normal going on in this head.
All right, and that's going to conclude our report from Unibrow today.
So what do you think about the Goatman?
I think Goatman's a crock.
I do too.
I think it's a crock. I think it's just a bunch of made up baloney. I mean, I'm sorry. But it's kind of like the Bigfoot thing. Until I finally saw him on the beef jerky commercials.
Oh, I feel like there could be a Bigfoot.
I think it's just like a big guy that lives in the woods.
In the Bigfoot show, though, do I think that he's running around having these affairs with women? No.
But he is eating beef jerky on TV. Don't mess with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, think about this in all seriousness. Just a couple of people you can think of. Andre the Giant. Mm-hmm. The other guy that was the wrestler that went by the Giant. Wilt Chamberlain, very tall individual. Yao Ming, was Yao Ming the basketball player? Is that his name? I can't remember, but he's like 7 foot something.
Are you trying to tell me that all of these professional, really tall athletes just go out in the wild in ghillie suits?
No, but what I'm saying is you could have an individual living off the grid that is of that size and that height and just wearing a size like 18 shoes. If they don't want people to come near them, what better way to run them off? He did fall in love in a garden.
I could maybe see someone in a Bigfoot suit eating buds off of the marijuana plants. I could see that. For sure. But
legitimately, it could just be people that's lived off the grids their whole life and, they don't get haircuts or whatever.
I hate this chair.
That's not the chair making the noises. That's something else.
There's no noises. I just really don't like this chair.
It does seem like you're sitting awful high.
Yeah.
Well, that's the chair you chose. We can switch chairs.
Anyway.
But anyway, as far as Goatman goes,
it's
a crock. Speaking of Crocs, did you see they now make boot Crocs?
I have never worn Crocs a day in my life.
I like my Crocs.
You walk around in Crocs and socks.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Pop in Crocs and socks.
Yes, and I walk around in socks and slides.
Which is why I prefer not to be seen with him in public.
It's called athletic. And I walk around in shorts with tall socks and slides just because I know it embarrasses you. And I wear the black socks that come up all the way up like your leg just so I can mess with you. It's stylish.
Styling and profiling. All right, well.
Till next